Thank you very much. And thank you to members of Canadian media for joining me here. I'm in Mexico City, just wrapping up the very productive trip that I've had here, working with my American and Mexican counterparts in Ambassador Tai and Secretary Cloutier. And at this point, I would like to just open it up so that I could take as much time as possible to respond to questions by our terrific Canadian media. So over to you.
Thank you, Minister Ng. We will now take questions from journalists. We have about 25 minutes with the minister, so we'll do one question and one follow-up. We will take questions from the phone. Over to the moderator. Merci.
Thank you. Merci. Please press star 1 at this time if you have a question. S'il vous plaît, appuyez sur étoile 1 maintenant pour poser une question. Our first question, notre première question, est de Stephen Overley with Politico. Please go ahead. La parole est à vous.
Hi, thank you for taking my question, Minister. I wanted to ask about your conversations with Ambassador Catherine Tai, particularly on dairy and on softwood lumber. I know those have been ongoing conversations. I wanted to know if there's been any progress on those issues, and if not, can you kind of discuss what the roadblock is at this point? Thank you.
Stephen, thank you very much for that important question. It was really excellent for me as on my very first trip leaving Canada during this pandemic, that the trip started in Washington, D.C., and having the opportunity to meet with Ambassador Tai. Both softwood lumber and dairy, as you well know, is an issue that is a long-standing one. It is a long-standing one for both countries. We have the new NAFTA and the processes and the mechanisms in there to enable, to enable both our countries to utilize that, and certainly with respect to dairy, it is going through the process for dispute settlement. And the ambassador and I were clear that we are committed to working with each other to ensure that this relationship between our two countries continues to be strengthened. Softwood lumber, of course, is an issue that I raised with her. And, again, it's a long-standing issue, but we are very committed to continuing to work together so that workers on both sides of the border, and certainly our forestry sector, which is incredibly important to me and to Canada, that we continue to defend their interests. But this is a long-standing issue, and we're going to be committed to continue to work together on this.
Is there a follow-up?
Yeah, sorry, I apologize. I was on mute. I did want to ask just a quick follow-up on that. I know the last time Ambassador Tai addressed this to Congress, we were left with the impression on the softwood lumber conversation that negotiations had not quite begun yet, that there wasn't a sense that Canada and the U.S. were sitting at the same table, essentially. I wonder if that's your impression of the situation, or if you see, if you feel you are actually on the road to reaching some sort of agreement. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Stephen. And what I can say here is that, Ambassador Tai and I agree on one thing, that the two of us will indeed work on this issue, along with many of the bilateral issues and opportunities for Canada and the U.S. So certainly this is a sector that is very, very important to Canada, to jobs, but it is equally important to the United States. So we are going to have to work on this together, and we certainly are committed to doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merci. Once again, if you have a question, please press star 1. De nouveau, n'hésitez pas à appuyer sur étoile 1 pour toute question. Our next question is from Jeff Levine with iPolitics. Please go ahead. La parole est à vous.
Hello, Minister. Thank you for taking my question. And it's mostly a reflective question about the 1-year anniversary amid it came in during the pandemic, and I was just wondering how has the agreement been while it was being implemented during the pandemic, and was there any delays or any hiccups because of the pandemic?
Well, thank you very much for the question. On the first anniversary of the new NAFTA, and certainly right now, as we are all grappling with, with finishing the fight against COVID-19, it is really important, and that is the purpose for my trip, and really having the opportunity to work with both Ambassador Tai and with Secretary Cloutier on the importance of this trilateral relationship. We're very committed to working together to fortifying and sort of making our supply chains more resilient, ensuring that as we build on this economic recovery, that what we are doing here is committing to work together. While I was here, all three of us were able to listen to many businesses. We were able to, whether they were big businesses or small and medium-sized enterprises, focusing on the real importance of inclusive trade and ensuring that on this road to economic recovery, that we really are including all people in our economies. So the work of collaborating, the work of creating competitiveness here in North America, and the opportunities for us to really continue to nurture this relationship is what this trip was about.
And looking forward to this year, I guess I was just hoping to get what are your short-term goals, and if you have concrete examples, that would be appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. Mexico and I, between Secretary Cloutier and I, we agreed that we are going to hold a summit between Mexico and Canada on trade in this next little while. We are going to embark on a trade mission between Canada and Mexico for women entrepreneurs and women-owned businesses. We really were able to resolve some issues because of this trip here in Mexico for Canadian business and investors, and for all three economies working towards inclusive growth. We were able to take a look at some of the reforms, the labor reforms that are taking place here in Mexico, which really is a key feature in the new agreement, ensuring that fairness for workers and the conditions for workers are improved. And Mexico is taking a lead. Had an opportunity to meet with the Labor Secretary and to see that work. And for Canada, U.S., and Mexico, making sure that we advance our work on supply chain resiliency. Also, the three of us talked about the road towards the MC12 on WTO and the work that we need to be doing to continue to support the multilateral rules-based trading system. So a lot of engagement. Quite a lot of work listening to and meeting with those whom we serve in the business community, workers, those representing labor, and small and medium-sized businesses. So got a lot done.
Thank you. Merci. Our next question is from Calvin Hepner with Real Agriculture. Please go ahead. La parole est à vous.
Hello, Minister Ng, and thanks for taking these questions. Follow-up regarding the dairy TRQ dispute panel. The members were appointed or announced this week. Can you provide any insight, or was there any discussion about a timeline for that dispute and what the next deadlines are, or what the time frame could look like?
Thank you very much for that, and I'm really pleased that that process is moving, quickly. Canada, U.S. have, of course, had to work together to ensure that a panel is put together, and there are the necessary sort of processes and timelines defined within the new NAFTA agreement, and that will proceed. And Canada is committed to being at that table. We, by the way, I assured Ambassador Tai that Canada takes its international obligations very seriously, and CUSMA is no different. And we are confident that we have complied and that Canadians have complied. That's what the dispute settlement process is about. So we look forward to letting that process make its way and work through its appropriate, process. But we, like I said, Canada takes its commitment seriously to our agreements, and that absolutely is the case here in CUSMA.
Related agricultural topic, the U.S. administration is being pressured to bring back country of origin labeling or to implement stricter made in the U.S. labels on meat. This is something that the Canadian government has, of course, brought to the WTO. Was this issue, this made in the U.S. label for pork and beef, was this topic brought up at all in your meetings with Ambassador Tai this week?
That issue was not brought up with me at all. But we've also been clear on this issue. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Merci. Once again, please press star one at this time if you have a question. De nouveau, n'hésitez pas à appuyer sur étoile 1 pour toute question. There are no further questions registered at this time. Nous n'avons plus de questions pour le moment.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Minister Tai. This is the my apologies, Minister Ng. This is the end of the press conference. Merci beaucoup.
That's
Thank you.